gosh, guys, the weather is literally giving me the most overpowered loot ever. That is so rare.
These are some of the funniest fake Minecraft speedruns in 1.19. Our first run begins and the runner spawns directly next to a desert temple, where he already has 1 XP. And after entering the pyramid, the center block is blue concrete, not blue terracotta, showing us the speedrunner had previously messed with it before recording. And when the speedrunner drops down inside the temple, he's greeted with OP items from every chest and doesn't light off any TNT after stepping on the pressure plate. He continues the run by making his way to a nearby village. And for a brief second when the speedrunner checks his inventory, we can spot a singular commands block hidden in the corner, which is not only impossible to get into survival, but we'll see what he does with this later. After looting the village, he makes his way to find a ruined portal, where he has just the right amount of obsidian to finish it. And once the speedrunner enters the Nether, he spawns directly next to a fortress. But scratch that. The speedrunner instead decides to head back to the overworld, craft himself a boat, and sail away in a random direction towards land. He then finds something strange. Out of an entire beach of normal sand, there is a singular piece of sandstone, to which the speedrunner happens to dig down from and lands directly in the end portal room, showing us that he clearly tried to mark the spot with something that he didn't want us to see. But there's a problem. Where is the speedrunner supposed to get his eyes of ender from? Well, do you remember the command block from earlier? It's gone. And instead, there's a button on the wall that activates a command which gives the speedrunner 11 eyes of ender, clearly showing us he used this command block to get these pearls. And after he enters the end, the fight's pretty normal, so we're moving on. This next speedrun seems to appear normal at first, with our speedrunner spawning into a village. But all of a sudden, the speedrunner immediately digs down from the village and drops down straight into a stronghold. But after a little search on the web, I found this exact seed straight out of a YouTube video called the best Minecraft seeds for speedrunning, which explains this incredibly lucky seed. And when he enters the portal room, there is 10 eyes already in the portal, which has a 1 in a trillion chance of happening. And take a look at the edges here. They aren't filled with lava like a normal portal room, meaning the speedrunner tampered with them in creative mode, which explains why he breaks this specific block, leading him to a random chest that has the perfect amount of eyes that he needs, and makes his way into the end. I've seen enough. Let's get to the next speedrun. The next run begins with our speedrunner spawning into a village and looting a ruined portal chest, which would be completely normal until you realize it's impossible for fire resistance to spawn here. Remember the fire resistance for later. He then grabs his loot and searches for an iron golem to kill. But why is there not 1, but 2, 3, and 4 iron golems in the village, when a normal village only contains 1? He makes his way back to the ruined portal and into the Nether, where the speedrunner drinks his fire resistance and jumps into a very certain lava pool, which suddenly drops the speedrunner right into the middle of a fortress. Once in the fortress, the speedrunner begins to search for a blaze spawner, but there seems to be quite a few more blazes than normal, which is explained if you look closely in the top right corner of his screen, where a second blaze spawner has been placed in creative mode. After collecting his blaze rods, the speedrunner needs to find a bastion, but pay close attention to these specific blocks on the wall, because after turning around, the speedrunner miraculously finds himself a bastion. And while the cut is not clearly noticeable, we could clearly see beforehand that there was not a bastion in sight. Now the rest of the run's pretty normal, so we're moving on. This next speedrun starts off with a bit of a cocky speedrunner.
Bro, this speedrun's gonna be so easy.
Where he goes to loot a chest and builds himself some tools to use. But while he's taking his boat out to sea, move your focus towards the chat. Why is the language set to Serbian when the speedrunner clearly speaks English? Remember this for later. The speedrunner then continues by traveling underwater, crafting a portal, and entering the Nether. And the speedrunner manages to find both a bastion collecting some ender pearls, as well as a fortress collecting some blaze rods. But pause. This is the leaderboard on the actual speedrun.com website for 1.16 RSG in Minecraft. And if we take a look at the second best time ever recorded, does this gameplay look familiar? The speedrunner literally put his face cam over an existing world record speedrun, and when comparing side by side, this is just hilariously fake, and submitted the run to the realspeedrun.com. This next speedrun starts off by spawning on a mountain, but as he's climbing down, we see something a little suspicious. The shape of a nether portal is outlined in the wall right as he spawned in. Keep this in mind for later. The speedrunner eventually finds a desert village in which he loots. He then travels all the way back towards his spawn and this really strange structure, which has clearly been tampered with. And nah, what? This next speedrunner is attempting the world's record for 1.8.9 random seed. But watch closely. The run starts off pretty normally with our speedrunner spawning in a village. But do you notice that? In a split-second frame, we can see a glimpse of a frog in Minecraft, which not only doesn't spawn in the biome he's in, but doesn't exist in Minecraft 1.8.9, the specific version this speedrunner is running for. The speedrun continues by collecting beds and searching for a ruined portal. Finally, the speedrunner finds it, and once the speedrunner spawns in the nether, we see this. The updated textures for netherrack and blocks that don't exist in Minecraft 8.9. Clearly, the speedrunner tried to get an advantage by running a newer version of Minecraft, but submitting it for 1.8.9. This next speedrunner spawns right in front of a chest, and oh no. I do kind of feel bad for this village, I'm not gonna lie. Did he really have to take out the villagers like that? Let's just hope he's more chill in the nether. That was pretty fast. Now this is about to be crazy. And there goes all the crystals. Yeah, the Ender Dragon stands no chance. Well, I guess he just finished that speedrun. The next one starts and our speedrunner spawns next to a village, where he happens to find some insane loot in his very first chest, including blaze rods, which isn't possible to spawn in a village chest. He also happens to loot a ton of obsidian. But do you notice something? The red textures around the lock of a chest clearly show that it's a trap chest, which don't spawn in villages, meaning he obviously placed this in creative. And instead of making his way to the nether portal now, he travels away until he comes to a very strange area of blocks, which was clearly tampered with by the speedrunner to build another portal. And this is made obvious when he magically spawns directly into a fortress. But the speedrunner already has blaze rods, so why would he need to be in a fortress? Because in this fortress, it happens to contain a piglin spawner instead of a blaze spawner, which obviously isn't possible in Minecraft, making it incredibly easy for our speedrunner to get all the pearls that he needs. And the speedrunner also finds a pre-lit nether portal conveniently on his way out of the fortress, which is clearly different from the one that spawned him in, which teleports him straight into the end portal room with the silverfish spawner missing. And the speedrunner crafts his eyes and begins to light the end portal until, wait, is this guy seriously getting DM'd by his mom on Discord? And now he has to go do some chores? Well, I guess something happened because the speedrun just cuts off there. This next speedrun starts off normally with the speedrunner gathering some tools using wood. He then travels around to which he finds a ruined portal and finds a perfect amount of obsidian, enough to fill the portal. And when he spawns in, wait, is this the new ancient city in Minecraft 1.19? Nether portals don't take you there. And why is the portal filled with diamond instead of reinforced deep slate? The speedrunner obviously tampered with this in creative mode. Subscribe to see more speedruns. Bye.